Right, hello. Today I want to talk about beating habits permanently. Now, the first thing that people need to realize is with habits is that they generally involve automatic behavior or automatic responses to certain situations. Like, for example, if somebody wants to give up smoking, they might have a situation where when they're under a little bit of stress, perhaps at work, maybe the phone rings and there's some deadline or something like that. They'll reach for their cigarettes, and without even thinking, they just automatically start smoking. So the first thing to do is to realise that that's how habits tend to work, and so have a look at your habit and see how that sort of works out for you. What sort of behaviours tend to be automatic in certain situations. And once you've done that, the next thing to do is to sort of work out how you'd rather behave in that situation. Like, would you rather just reach for a packet of chewing gum or a stress ball, or perhaps take a deep breath and count to 10, or what would you rather do? And and once you've worked that out, the next thing is to set up a system or set up a situation or behaviour pattern that's going to be more the way you'd like it to happen by rehearsing it. So you rehearse how you'd behave in that situation by imagining it's happening. When you get a bit of free time, sit down and imagine you've got a stressful situation, and get emotionally involved. Make it seem real, because then it'll be more indelibly implanted in your mind. So get a bit involved and imagine your stressful situation, and then imagine how you would rather react and behave in that situation, and just rehearse that. Practice that a few times. Perhaps 3 times is a good number of times to do it, and several times during the day as well. So when you get a free moment, practice that, and then later on, when an actual situation, stressful situation happens, it might be a slightly different one, it doesn't really matter. Set yourself up a trigger so that you remind yourself, oh, that's right, when a stressful situation happens, I'd rather do this or that, and try and implement that. And if you don't succeed at first, don't worry. Try again, repeat, don't give up, and stick with it, because that's the way to eventually get to where you want to go. Now that reminds me of a situation that I've seen in the past quite a few times, actually, where athletes have no success when they're at a competition, and there's a couple of groups that these athletes tend to form into. One group would be the group that says, well, look, I'm no good at this, I can't do this, and they just give up and take up something else, or just don't bother going back to that sport. I'm completely disheartened and just quit. And there's another group that say, well, no, I really want to do this, and they go back to the drawing board, train even harder, generally even harder than the ones who were successful, who won the competition, who beat them at their previous competition. And it might take them a few years. They might fail the following year or not succeed the following year. And eventually, quite often, they get to the point where they become very successful. And if you talk to or listen to any successful people in any field, you'll see that they will often tell you, look, in the first few years I got beaten, I got humiliated, but I just kept trying, I kept training, and eventually I became very successful. So that's the way to do it. So keep that in mind when you're having a go at beating a habit. It takes a bit of time quite often, but with any amount of luck, it could happen quite quickly. So anyway, that's my message for today. So give it a go and stick with it. And with any amount of luck, you'll succeed very quickly. So good luck, and I hope you do well.